Welcome to Deadwater Saloon, your very own tavern in the Wild West. Ever wanted to know what it was like running a saloon back when cowboys were still around, and how they managed to entice customers? Then look no further. Deadwater Saloon starts with a create a character screen. Here you define your character's various traits, as well as their name, gender, and skills. You also get to choose the look of your character via a portrait select screen. You also define the difficulty by changing the economy and other important options. Once you press play, the game eases you gently into the swing of running a saloon, first by instructing you to buy various objects such as a bar and a stove, to finding new staff to use these objects. When you've completed the tutorial, the game continues. On the first day, no customers seem to appear, but as the days fly by, they start to come into your tavern and order drinks. But before you can provide drinks and food, you also need to learn the recipe for the meals and drinks. This is done via a simple menu interface where you can choose the recipe to learn. You can only learn one at a time, but the early game recipes are unlocked very quickly. Finally, you also need to stop. Early in the game, the trapper citizen moves into the area. From the trapper, you can buy early game food and drink, which your cooks and barkeep can use to satisfy your customers. More customers mean more people start to move into the town, bringing new buildings which bring more items that you can buy from them, which then can be used to serve to your customers and eventually increase your sales and profit margin. Your character has a limited number of actions they can perform in a day. This usually starts with 4. This can be increased by purchasing items from new shops that pop up around the area. These actions can be used in one of 3 main ways: socializing with the locals, reducing your stress levels, and hiring staff. The first action will allow you to build a relationship with the town and will result in locals becoming regular customers. But there is also another option. You can befriend the opposite gender and eventually marry them. This brings with it benefits such as reducing your stress via other actions. From the onset of your Deadwater Saloon adventure, the tutorial teaches you that if your health drops to 0 or your stress levels reach 100, it is game over. The biggest contributor to increased stress is by failing when selecting a conversation option with the locals. Each option has a percentage chance of being successful. The chance depends on your character's traits at the start of the game, so it is wise to spread the points out. As you progress through the game, you'll begin to get a notification that bandits are on their way. You then have 2 options. You can either give up and give them loot to pacify them, however they will return, or fight back with your main character and your bouncers. Of course, this comes with the risk of reducing your health and them taking loot anyway. From my experience of the game, I found it more difficult to keep my stress levels low than keeping my health high. I kept failing persuasion checks, which resulted in an unhappy tavern owner. The font of the user interface is hard to read on a small screen, especially on a laptop. However, on a bigger screen, about 22 inches, is a lot easier to read. It would have been a great feature if we could select the font at the beginning of the game. The graphics themselves serve their purpose. You have a top-down view of the town and can zoom into your own saloon. The character models are very basic, though for a sim game it is more than enough to enjoy the experience. I'd have liked to have seen more detailed character models and an option to fully customize your character, but this was a small nitpick. The music suits the time period very well, very Western-esque, which really builds the atmosphere of owning a saloon, so I cannot fault it. I have enjoyed my time running a saloon in Deadwater Saloon. I also hope that there is plans for more content, as after a few hours you start to run out of things to do. New content is delivered very slowly, especially if you're not getting as many sales as you would hope. I do hope that the developers bring out more content, whether that be paid DLC or free content. However, I do see myself playing many hours of the game as it stands. For that reason alone, Deadwater gets a 3.5 out of 5. However, should more content come to light, I will be revising that rating.